This is MTSU President Sidney McPhee. You're listening to WGNS, your local connection to Blue Raider Athletics.
WGNS AM, FM, online. Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. Flagship station for MTSU Sports. News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
They sure are my opinions, and that's what you're about to hear tonight, along with another ladies that's here. Ed Raymer with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Welcome aboard, please. Folks, I was late today in getting my welcome to you on Facebook. But we have a lady here tonight. We've got some things to discuss, and they're not pleasant things. I didn't even ask her. Angela Wynn is here. We're going to talk about the vote that was taken Tuesday night by the Rutherford County School Board to take your public tax dollars and put them into private schools. I'd be interested to hear from some of you folks about this. And that one thing that's always a real tricky thing for Republicans is that separation of church and state. I'd like to hear about that, you know. And if you disagree with what we're going to be putting on here, I'd like to hear from you too. I'd love it. Angela, move in a little closer to the mic, please. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Have you ever been on radio before? Have you?
I've done a podcast before, but I've never done live radio, so this is the first time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good, good. And her husband, Jeremy, is here. And we got Angela in here. She didn't want to do this, but she's handcuffed to the desk for the balance of the hour, so we're not, so she won't run off on me. I've had to do that to a few guests, haven't we, Jackson? Well, it's not that bad, but and we are on YouTube, so you can find us on YouTube, or you can download us WGNSradio.com. Listen online, as my family does lots of times. They may be listening on YouTube now. I don't know. This is still relatively a new thing for us. And you can see our beautiful faces. And the WGNSradio.com, that takes you to the station's webpage. All my shows are there on podcast. You can listen to any of them you wish. This one here will be on there as well. And, you know, we're going to talk tonight again about your Rutherford County School Board and the vote they took this week. Now, let me say this up front. This lady that's here with me tonight, she does this. And by the way, thank you for doing this. Okay. Thank you so much. No, thank you very much. She is not paid. She does this, her and her husband, out of the goodness of their heart. You have children in school here?
Yes, we have 4 children. 3 of them right now are in Rutherford County schools.
Rutherford County schools.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I was going to ask you what you do with your spare time. With 4 children, I know now. And you, sir, you're working 4 jobs now? Boy, America's a great place until you get married, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. You know that. We are glad she is here, and we appreciate it. And like I said, she does this out of the goodness of her heart. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's get this thing kicked off. Jackson, for good. Jackson's on the board, going to do a good job, as always, I know. And yes, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your Good Neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
And that is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. And yes, this is Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I'm your host, Ed Raymer. This show is produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach us tonight. You can reach Angela with your questions, comments, or thoughts at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. And you can also send us a text to that number. Jackson will get it. Be glad to read it over the air for those of you who do not wish to be on the air live. If you're a little too high or too shy, we understand, okay? And you can listen to us, as I said, via the internet at WGNSradio.com. And we are no longer on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube. So you can find us there. And Jackson, are we live on YouTube right now? Are we? We are live. Okay. And tell folks again what that is. That's News Radio WGNS.
News Radio WGNS.
News Radio WGNS. And you'll find all of our shows there. And you can also download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go. Listen whenever you wish. Check out Angela Bingham. She's here. She's doing a great job with Simplicity. She's on every Sunday at 6, and she's just a fine person and doing a great job with that. And we support her fully. And she's doing good work. We've got some good things going on here at WGNS, and I hope we got a good thing going on here tonight. And I hope you people will pay attention to what's going on here in Rutherford County. All right, Miss Angela.
Yes, sir.
How did you get involved in this? What drives you for this, and tell us how this vote went and all that.
Yeah, so I originally got involved with Rutherford County Schools from an advocacy standpoint back when COVID started.
Right.
Me and another small group of parents, well, now a very large group of parents, just really wanting to make sure that Rutherford County Schools is safe and equitable for all children.
Now, were your children, did you have to educate? Did they do remote learning and all that?
All five. Okay. I had 5 at home at the time. All 5 of them did, 4 of them did distance learning. I had just had my son. He had just turned 1. So it was a very exciting time in the house, and I was very motivated to make sure that whatever needed to be done for my children to go back to school safely could be done.
Yeah, right. It was strange territory for everyone.
It was. I felt bad for the parents, of course, because a lot of us, especially moms, had to leave the workforce in order to stay home with our kids to make sure that they continue their education, but also for the teachers and the administration who really they weren't ready for that type of a lift in such a short amount of time, right? So I truly respect all the teachers and administrators that went through that time. Shout out to my daughter's kindergarten teacher. We love you so much. She
and
was
who is that?
Absolutely amazing. What was Addison's kindergarten teacher? Now we have so many kids. I'm going to remember it before the night is over.
I was going to ask with 5, what, are you trying to start your own country out there? What are you
my
doing?
goodness. But she's at Thurman Francis.
Right.
She's a kindergarten teacher, and she'll know. And
the kindergarten 1, 2, and 3 grades are very instrumental and very important in a child's development.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
And that's the kid. You can go to kindergarten, all that good. That's great, but the used to be we didn't have kindergarten when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Of course, yes, there's a lot of things we didn't have when I was a kid. So, but today it is different. But what got me about this, and what was the vote? This is for the Hills. Is it the Hillsdale Private School or what?
Yeah. So it's ACAR. It's a Hillsdale College adjacent organization, right? Okay. They embody the 1776 curriculum that was created by Hillsdale College under former President Trump's 1776 initiative.
Right.
It was created in exact opposition to the 1619 Project as a way of more of an informed patriotism type of curriculum, really pushing the idea of American exceptionalism and, patriotism to a fault.
Right. Yeah. Onward, Christian soldiers, here we go with all this, get their flag and go march off to war. And
absolutely. There's no expansion of thought. It's here's what we're going to tell you, and that's what you need to believe.
That's what you need. Just take it at face value. Mm-hmm. Don't do any research. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So what was the vote?
So
I watched it, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, it was a very hard vote for me to watch. So
I know you said you got up and I think
I got up and left. Yeah, I had to get up and leave the room because I was very visibly upset. But the vote was to either approve or deny the proposed application for the for ACAR to come to our district. And the last time they come, we were very happy that our board voted 6-1.
I agree. Which was back, was it back earlier in the year, or was it last year?
It was last year. Yeah, they were denied. They came
Right.
back for an appeal, but then magically, right before the elections, they pulled their appeal. And so I think at that time, we kind of knew that, we needed to be prepared for them to come back.
Now, I know Mariah Phillips has helped you out with this, and a number of others. But
Yeah, Mariah has definitely been a huge
Right.
proponent to ensure that the word gets out on what this organization is about and the quote unquote morals that they're trying to instill in Rutherford County kids.
Do you remember what the count of the vote was? I don't.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to say there were two that voted against it, I believe.
So this time the vote was 5 yes, which was very discouraging for me, especially given how strongly the board voted against it the last time.
There are 6 people on the board, and then you have the
Yes.
superintendent.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes. And, despite the recommendation by the Charter Review Committee in denying this application, it was an overwhelming majority that voted to say yes to this proposal, which was quite surprising to all of us, given, they had applications in 5 different counties, and we were the only county to vote yes on the application as is.
Great. Okay. Now, how much in the near term they would be opened up by when?
Yes, so their goal would be to be open by 2024. We're still trying to figure out how that would happen, given they don't even have a specific location in mind in Rutherford County.
Right.
It was one of the things in the application, how they stated they were having a hard time building, community support for their school because they had no idea where they were going to put it.
So we're looking at an expenditure for this county. Mm-hmm. Of literally, if you're talking to school and brick and mortar and all that, you're talking about millions of dollars.
Yes, it's definitely millions of dollars. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, they give you this song and dance of how, this cost isn't going to be put on the taxpayers. But
I've seen ads on TV.
Yeah, we're already facing a tax hike here in Rutherford County.
Right.
And we need those dollars for our public schools that are
right.
well equipped to take care of all of our children, not just a subset of children that they feel are privileged enough to learn, more about this American patriotism that they hold so dear to themselves.
They've just about banged that drum on me till I don't even want to hear it anymore. And now here's the kicker for me. Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, and on anything, I'll try to listen. Okay, what do you? By the time it's all said and done, you boil it all down to gravy. They're going to take on 320 students.
Yes, and even at full capacity, I think
we've got 50,000 students in this county right now.
Yeah, and the numbers are going up anywhere between 2,000 and 2,700 every year.
Every year.
Yeah, and the kicker part is, and you'll love this because you guys reported on this last year. So the slowest growing group of children of school age in Rutherford County are kids from K through 5. And guess what grades this school wants to serve, that they say that they're going to help with our overcrowding problem? K through 5. We do have an overcrowding issue, but that's not at the top of the list. That's not a priority right now. We need middle and high schools.
Right, and of course we're expanding three or four of the schools right now, which needed to be done, and to learn to use effectively the tools you already have, so we don't have to buy any land. We don't have to do any of that. The schools are already there. They're in place, which I thought was a good move for this county.
Yes.
And is it going to cost more money? Yes. Do we like it? No. But, folks, I want to tell you, and my wife is listening at home. Hopefully she is, and she always does. And she listens on Alexa, by the way. If you want to listen on Alexa, you can pick us up on Alexa. But, we moved here for the school system. I don't know how many people I've talked to. And, folks, this lady and her husband are here, and they moved here because we had a good school system.
Because of Rutherford County schools, yes.
Right. And even the Rustburg City Schools, who we had a board member here last week, David Settles, a good friend of mine. And, they're doing a good job, as good as they can possibly do.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job. Central Magnet is the number 7 high school in the country. That's absolutely amazing.
Right.
We were so happy when our son was able to get into Central Magnet. We've been very happy that our daughter was able to get
I had a
into
nephew that went to Central Magnet, and it's
been great for them. And,
it's fantastic. Dr. Ash is just a great guy.
I love Dr. Ash. And we have one kid that went to Rock Springs Elementary and is now at Rock Springs Middle. I have one kid that decided not to continue on to Central High, so he decided to go to Stewart's Creek High School. So the thing that kills me is you say that here in Rutherford County we don't have choices. All of my children have had choices on where they wanted to matriculate, right?
Sure.
So I don't understand what choices we don't have here. That's why we moved here.
I don't understand it either. We're going to go to our first series of breaks. We'll get Jackson back in here in a minute. We're talking to Angela Wynn. She is on the group of people with a group. But do y'all have a real name?
We do. We are Safe RCS. We are a group of concerned parents and community members who are advocating for safe and equitable schools for all children in Rutherford County.
We're going to talk more about that when we come back. Jackson's on the board and take us to our first series of breaks. You're listening to Miss Angela and Ed Raymer on the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, and we are back. Angela Wynn is with us.
Hey.
And tell us now, RSC, Safe RSC?
It's Safe RCS.
RCS, I'm sorry.
Safe Rutherford County Schools. We are a group of concerned parents and community members who advocate for safe and equitable schools for all Rutherford County children.
Do you have a website? Surely you got a Facebook page or something?
Yes, we do. We have a Facebook group called Safe RCS, at Safe RCS, and we do also have a public page on Facebook called Safe RCS.
Okay, and folks, if you have children in school, you need to at least take a look at this page, okay? Please do. Take a look at it. These folks, these ladies that are doing this, they do this for their own free. They're not being paid. There are no dues, no fees, none of that.
None of that. And we are 100% nonpartisan. We are here for the good of all children.
Right.
And that is what's most important.
You know, I still cannot get over. Where did anyone ask the question about that tricky little clause of the separation of church and state?
Well, I that's the one thing that I've learned living here, kind of in the Bible Belt, is that's a real messy line, right? It's hard to, it's hard to separate church and state when people feel like we have a quote morality, crisis going on, and when people go to that mindset, they automatically want to grab onto, whatever sense of faith that they have. And I'm for that, right?
That's fine.
We're going through a tough time right now. Hold on to whatever, DD you have that makes you feel good about yourself. But this whole idea that we all have to, force those to live under our own personal religious beliefs, that's not fair. That's not what this country was supposed to be created for, right? I thought this country was created based on people who were being persecuted for their religious beliefs. So why would we come here and make that the rule of thumb for others who have come to this country?
No, that's what they did here. They didn't want a king.
Yeah, assimilate. It kills me how this country was built by people who did not want to assimilate by forcing people that came here to assimilate.
I know. Yeah, that freedom. I think Mick Jagger said it with the Rolling Stones. Is this freedom thing can be a real wrench at times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have a caller on the line. Jackson, please go ahead and put him on. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Mr. Raymer, how you doing?
Oh, fine. Hello, is this Jeff?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr.
Fine,
Raymer?
Jeff. Tell us about it. What's going on?
Did you read that cartoon today? I know you enjoyed it, didn't you?
I have not had a chance to see it yet.
I'd say it's about the two guys got fired this week. They said we're going to tell you who got fired this week. We're going to tell you after commercial break.
Two guys got fired on cable news.
Yeah, on cable news. We'll tell you after commercial break. Come on, about 2 minutes commercial break. Tell you. But no, I just want to say the three that I'm not surprised they voted for is that Rosales and that Caleb Tidwell and that Tammy Sharp. I'm not surprised them three voted. The one I'm surprised voted for it was that Maxwell, that Clary Maxwell. She voted for it to put it in. That's when I'm shocked. Because she talks all the time about a great school system we got. It's wonderful, and my kids went there, and then she voted to put the thing in. I was shocked. When I read that, I could not believe she voted in. I couldn't believe it, that she voted to put this charter school in. I could not. Did you know that, Emily, she voted in?
Oh, no. I saw the meeting on YouTube.
I'm saying they put the ones that voted for it, and those three voted, and then Claire, she voted to put it in. She voted to put it in. And like I said, the three I'm before, I'm not three, but those three, that they won't stop until every school in America is privatized. They don't want public schools at all in America. Those three, Tidwell and Rosales and Sharp woman, they're not going to stop until, not just Tennessee, they want all America to have private schools or Christian school, whatever. And this guy, the Hillsdale College, he was the same guy that got up to Tennessee teachers were dumb. Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah. He sat there, and Bill Lee sat there in the chair and just grinned from ear to ear with him, talking about how dumb our teachers were.
Tennessee teachers, they're stupid as all get out. And said, really? They're grins from, hallelujah, They're dumb as all get out, They're fools around. All this other stuff, and everything. So, and then like Guy said, that they're from Colorado or some other state, some state out in West or somewhere, wherever their college is at, want to put charter. Is it true that what I've heard is that eventually they want to be a K through 12 school? Was that right?
Yes, that is.
Is that right, Angela?
Yes, by 2029 they want to expand for K through 12.
Have all the grades and stuff. Well, like I say, it's going to be pretty interesting to see if they can be able to. If they ain't got no site, we're going to see how fast they better hurry up and build it.
Jeff, let me ask you, as a taxpayer, how do you feel about your taxes going for a private school? I think I already know.
I don't want like if I've got a niece right now that's got her son in a Christian school, and I don't want government money going for if parents want to put their kids in private schools or Christian schools, let them pay it out of their own pocket. I don't want government money going to that. That's what the public schools are for. I don't want government money going to these vouchers out to parents. Okay, you can go to a private school if you want to. No, I don't want that at all.
Right.
I mean, the public school system to me is. I mean, we got a great school. I know there's school systems around the country that aren't as good as ours. I realize that. I understand that, but we've got a real good one here. Like you guys say, people move here because of the school system. They move here because of it.
Well, it was the reason my wife and I were here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why y'all people move here, because jobs or whatever it may be. But I mean, no, their school system. I'm not that they're bad, but I mean, no, I don't. Like I said, there's people on that school board right now. But they won't stop until every school in this country, in Tennessee, is privatized. They don't want public schools at all.
Well, they may get their wish, but I'll tell you what, they better get their pocketbooks out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad them three voted. Them three, I told you, they'll get there. Now, see, that's when I was shocked when Maxwell. That's when I was shocked they voted. But
let's not forget Katie Darby too. Katie Darby voted.
We have to wait and see because I know the property tax there went to raise the property tax quite a bit on all this, thing with the schools and everything else. So, but like I say, it's the Southern State Legislature said it's not sustainable. So I guess we don't want to have schools. We're just going to don't even have no schools anymore, right? We just let them start in kindergarten at home. I reckon don't have no schools anymore.
Well, I mean, and as long as you have the Republicans who are in the super majority in this state, and now it's even happening on a county level, where they're forcing their will on people like me and apparently you, Jeff, that, hey, Raymer, kick up some more on your property tax because we need it for this new private school. And I'm sure everything will be first class, of course, with that bunch.
It's gonna be wherever they build it. It's gonna be first class. You know that it's gonna be first class. They'll have donors or wherever people go to school or whatever. I mean, they're gonna have everything first. There ain't no doubt about that.
You won't have any donors that are serious. Any serious donors that are Republicans because they talk a good game, but they don't walk a good game.
Whoever they are, they'll be able to they'll fit the bill as far.
I've seen that bunch all my life. They're big at talking it up. They're not going to put their money where their mouth is.
The Republicans are for two things in life: low taxes and let businesses run wild. Do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Deregulation. They want taxes. They want taxes so low that only one person works in the government. They don't want nobody else working. But the president or the governor of the state of Tennessee. They don't want no other state employees but the governor. That's all they want. They want the taxes be low and let businesses do whatever they want to. Let them run wild or whoever. No regulation now. Just let them do what they want. So. But y'all hang there, guys. Enjoy your show. Thank you.
Jeff, thank you so much. And I thank Jeff for his continued support of this broadcast. We've got another call right now. I don't know if is that for me? Okay. Let's go with it while we're here. Go ahead. Thank you, Jackson. Caller, you're on the air live. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ed. This is Carolyn. First, I am so excited that you've got Angela on the show. I don't think that I've had an opportunity to formally meet her and to be introduced, and I would absolutely love the opportunity to do so. But I do have two questions. And then I'll hang up and I'll just listen. Folks,
this is Carolyn Cox, if you don't know. And Carolyn has put her name on a ballot, too. And I have a feeling we're going to see her name out there again. And did you spoil the grandbaby today?
You know I did. I spoiled her all weekend, and I had to send her home kicking and screaming.
Go ahead, Carolyn. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My first question is for you, Ed. I really want to know when you are going to get Maxwell on your show. And just to simply ask her, I mean, between her and her husband, he's a councilman. She's on the school board. I mean, they love this city. I'm trying to figure out why she would vote to actually do that. That is concerning to me. Yes. So I would really love to hear her rationale and the reasons behind. I mean, honestly, all of their reasons for voting the way in which they voted, if they love this city and their schools.
Well, and Carolyn, these phone lines are open. You're calling us right now. They're free to call in and express their opinion, but I doubt any of them even want to listen to me.
Yeah, I know. Well, of course, you're too controversial. So that's number one. That's the first question. Let's get her on the show. And because she's been so open and so friendly, I'm hoping that she's still just as open and as open to answer some of the tougher questions that may be asked. So that's number one.
Yes,
and then where Angela's concerned, I want to know what's next and how I can help with whatever those endeavors might be. And I'm going to hang up, and I'll just keep listening to the show.
Carolyn, thank you, and thank you for your continued support. Carolyn Cox, and she's one of the best. That lady's a worker right there, and you do need to meet her.
Yes.
If you have not met her.
We've corresponded before, but we haven't met each other in what the kids say in real life. So I'm really very much looking forward to that.
How can she help?
So I'm actually meeting with SOCM, which is a state
Save Our Confederate Mountains, I believe.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so I'll be meeting with them on Tuesday to kind of talk about where we go from here. I think the biggest thing is letting people know that this happened, because you would be surprised to know how many people are unaware that that this school even came here.
It really is. Yeah, a lot of people are still unaware of it. Yeah. And it was, to me, as far as this is just a county issue, of course. This is our county. But this is going to affect the entire mid-state.
Oh, it's absolutely going to affect the entire mid-state. Right. Like, this school pulled applications in 5 different counties. And while those counties said no, that school is going to come back and appeal. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to use Rutherford County's yeses as a way for them to push that appeal through.
And here's the thing. I mean, the people, how do the teachers of Rutherford County feel about this?
The teachers of Rutherford County don't want this. The teachers that will be at these schools are not required to be certified because, of course, like John Aaron said, our teachers are taught in the dumbest places, in the dumbest, in the worst parts of the world. So why do their teachers need to be educated as long as, they're provided the curriculum that they're told, which is crazy to me because they say they want to teach free thought, but they're telling teachers what to teach, because how else are teachers going to know what to teach if they're not educated on it, right?
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense. And I really want people to be aware and thinking, not just about, the curriculum, because I've spoken on that so many times, about how the curriculum is just a whitewashed revisionist history, how it, dilutes all of our Black leaders and, makes them feel good stories, which is not, you don't learn lessons that way, right? We really need to face the atrocities of what happened so that we can become a better society in the future. But what I really want people in Rutherford County to think about is, let's hold our school board accountable for the way that they voted, right? Let's ask the questions. Like for me, I'm trying to understand how Caleb Tidwell can judge ACART's application fairly when he received campaign support from Marcia Garcia, who is an ACA board chair. And, Frances Gonzalez admitted it herself. She said that her yes was a campaign promise. Well, was Katie Darby? Was that a campaign promise from her? Was it a Caleb Tidwell promise?
Right.
Was this something that you already decided you were going to do without even looking at the application that was denied by a review charter committee on all three parts? Like the academics are not right. The operational part of it is not right. The finance part actually met standards last time. It does not meet standards this time. So not only did they come with a bad, they came with one worse than the one before. I mean, what an insult to the people of this county, right?
I know. Yeah.
To not even try to clean up what you're the stuff that you're trying to bring here, right? And then this whole idea of, Katie Darby's transportation business. Is she going to stand, to gain from that, given these schools don't have transportation, right?
Yeah.
And we had school board members who made statements about, potentially having, conflict of interest when it comes to ACART coming to the schools. But they announced that. Why haven't we heard this?
Right.
Why did it take the Murfreesboro holler for us to find out about it? Right. Like that's the thing for me. It's like it really makes me wonder how this district can reach a conclusion about this charter school that's so vastly different than the other counties that voted against it.
And I told you last night. Was it last night we talked? The first time we talked. And folks, if you wonder how I'm doing this broadcast now, and I told our guest this. I told her I intentionally am waiting to a Friday or Saturday. I used to put this show together like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. But, for example, I'd love to get Gloria Johnson on up in Knoxville. She stood with the Justins down in the well of the House of Representatives.
And she stood with us the last time ACAR was here.
She's been on once before. Now, it was by phone. She's far away, and she generally is commuting. Well, until Bill Lee calls a special session because he can't make a decision. But nonetheless, he's got them ripping up and down the road. I don't know what for. Republicans are going to do what they want to do anyway. But I have to wait. This place has been such a hodgepodge. And by the way, the two fellas out of the legislature, the Justins, as I call them, they've done a great job, Republicans.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. You've made heroes out of them.
Thank you so much.
They have been on every major news media outlet.
Absolutely,
probably
so.
Not Fox, but that'd be a shame, wouldn't it? I mean, you're making them famous, which is fine by me. Sounds like their careers are set, friend. I mean, so if they don't want to stay in politics, I'll tell you what, give them a talk show. They'll get you some listeners and viewers. Go for it. But I have to wait until, and I called Angela last night and I said, I apologize. And I got her name from a good friend of this broadcast and a lady who is down watching Blues Traveler tonight.
Lucky
Kelly
girl.
Northcutt, lucky girl. Her partner got a bunch of got a couple of tickets, and he sprung for those, and good for her.
Yes.
Blues Traveler, they're at the Ryman tonight, and I know that'll be a good show. But she said, let me give you the name of Angela, and she did. Angela Wynn. And we were talking within very few minutes. I picked up the phone and called her. I appreciate you answering, and again, thanks for doing this tonight. I appreciate
absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's my duty to be able to speak for those
Sure.
that aren't able to kind of be at these meetings, because these school board meetings start at 5:30, and not everybody.
Well, that's
gets
always
off
got
and-
me too. Yeah, start them in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
and,
I'm blessed that I work from home and have the ability to attend these school
Yeah.
board meetings. But
Right.
when I was single momming it, before there was no way I'd be able to be as engaged and involved.
Well, and is that not by design?
Oh, it's definitely by design, and so
Sure.
I want to be the one to say, listen, you can't. I will be there for you.
Well, of all the elected officials, and we have one who's a friend of mine, and I'll say this, and he's our Rutherford County Property Assessor. He's always accessible, is Rob Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob has held within his budget. He has not expanded his budget. Therefore, in a sense, he's cut his budget as time has gone, because this county's growing like crazy, and the Property Assessor's Office is a busy place.
Yes.
And my hat's off to him for that. But this goes totally against everything that we're doing. We're going to have to build another county school, which will be in excess of $100 million.
Yes.
It's just that simple. I'm sorry. By the time you get land, and we're talking about 3 different schools.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about elementary, you're talking about a middle school, and you're talking about a high school.
And think about how far behind we are in getting those done already.
And the kids are still coming.
That's right.
And now we've got to deal, and now the entire county is having to deal with this bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of there's 2 reasons, Republicans and Bill Lee.
Yes.
And you sit there and talk to a teacher like that, do you know how long it takes to make a good teacher? I got a good friend who was a lifetime educator here in Rutherford County. It bothered me one night. He put on there, don't get into teaching.
Which is sad.
Sad.
Shout out Miss Parker. Miss Parker from Raymer Francis. I love you, Miss Parker. Thank you so much. Thank you for making Addison's kindergarten. You're the best ever.
Miss Parker must be very special, I'll tell you.
She is awesome. I adore her.
But we're going the wrong way here, folks.
Yeah.
And with the crunch we've got in school budgets right now, and you're going to always have a crunch. I get it. I understand. And then to throw this curveball in there, back to Carolyn Cox's question, what can people do to help? I mean, is actually showing up at meetings, would that help do it?
Show up at meetings, because I'm going to tell you right now, they were very smug in doing this, right? They knew what they were coming there to do, and they felt like
this was the only thing they met on too.
Yeah,
this was it.
It's the only thing they met on, and they didn't even allow the Charter Review Committee to present their findings, so that the school board had a full understanding on why the proposal application was denied. And
Sure.
that to me was shocking. We had school board members who said that they were completely blindsided by the fact that they weren't going to be allowed to see the presentation, so they would have a better understanding behind the decision that was made. But Tammy Sharp vehemently said, "We're not having it." So why weren't we?
Yeah,
allowed
she
to
pretty
have
well
it?
runs things up there with a whipping a steel fist.
I mean, she was the one.
Yeah.
She was the only one that voted to have this school the last time, and she's been a staunch advocate for them, which I really don't think is appropriate for someone in her position.
Sure.
And it's
You're supposed to be as neutral as you can possibly be.
You're supposed to
yeah.
be, but she's literally been out here advocating for these people. She actually stood up at a session and gave a public statement on it. And you're supposed to be here for all of our children, right? I don't like hearing school board members saying, "Well, it doesn't matter if you don't like the curriculum. We need the school." I mean, isn't that the point of the school? That's the point, right? The curriculum. Our kids are supposed to be learning. So I'm going to care about the curriculum. But even outside of the curriculum, the financial burden that it's going to put on this county, an unnecessary one at that.
And we don't need any more burdens right now,
We
especially
definitely
with
do
the
not.
schools.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
And it looks like to me Angela, it looks like to me the school board's creating their own problem.
Oh, absolutely, because they're not giving the people what they want. They did a survey, right?
Sure.
And an overwhelming amount, 72% of those surveyed did not approve of this. They do not approve of this.
David Settles and I were talking about this last week. You know, when are these politicians, and a school board member is a politician?
Yes, they are.
I don't know when they're going. I see it on, and I'm not going to shift the discussion here, but gun control. Mm-hmm. The numbers are there. You don't have to look at Fox. Fox has got the numbers, and they're supposed to be as right wing as you get. Mm-hmm. Most parents and people that care, parents, sons, daughters, people, average folks, don't want to be able to a nut that just left a mental facility to go out and buy a gun.
Yeah.
They don't want it. 72% of the people did not want this. Politicians are not listening to the people.
No.
The people are speaking, but no one. Oh, well, you don't know what's bad. We'll take care of this. I have a feeling there's some money I'm just going to say it. I have a feeling there's some money being pushed under the table somewhere.
Oh,
there's a favor somewhere.
There's definitely been money pushed around. I'm not going to go too much into it, but
Right.
I think the Murfreesboro Holler has done an excellent job covering it.
What does the Murfreesboro Holler tell us, please?
Murfreesboro Holler is a local publication. You can catch them online, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Murfreesboro. I think it's at Murfreesboro Holler, Tennessee, TN. But they've been doing an excellent job covering this story, and I think it's hugely important. I really wish that we had gotten as much coverage as we did the first time
Right.
they put in their application, right? I don't think it would have passed as smugly as it did this time. We really need people to kind of to show up, and if you can't show up, send an email.
Excuse me.
Call your school board member. Hold these people accountable. Ask them the questions. Why is this school coming? Why is it good for my child? You're not serving children who are disabled. You're not fit to serve children who are economically disadvantaged.
Right.
You have uniform fees and late fees. How is that helping economically disadvantaged children be able to take advantage of your morally virtuous curriculum if they're held down by their financial situation with the school? That's not helping at all.
Right.
They don't have the curriculum, and they don't even have what even the basics for the curriculum, or how they're even going to develop the curriculum. It's a slap in the face to educators, and it's for damn sure a slap in the face to parents here.
Well, and here's the thing. As far as a private school, we have some fine private schools. Middle Tennessee Christians, fine school. Others, Providence Christian Academy, is that it?
Yes.
PCA, fine. Okay, good. You want to send your kids to a school like fine. St. Rose, if you're the Catholic persuasion, fine. Got a friend, his children go attend school there. I think a couple of them do. I don't know. Fine. That's fine. They have elected to pay for it. That's fine. But, I'm going to have a question for Rob Mitchell. When these taxes go up, say, now how much of this is going for that private school bonds? Because I'm not contributing to that. Not that I'll have a choice. But they're putting elected officials, they're putting a lot of people on the spot with this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that includes our county commissioners.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've heard rumbles of what's been happening between the school board and the county
let me
commission.
ask you, did they even allow discussion on this Tuesday night? Did they even open the floor for discussion before? Did anybody know what they were really going to do?
There was a motion on the floor before they could really get into any discussion. I definitely remembering Madam Chairperson telling another school board member, we're done with discussion. You need to vote now.
I remember seeing that piece. Yeah, and you can watch this on YouTube, folks.
Please
Rutherford
watch it on
County.
YouTube.
Please watch it.
Share it.
Yeah, share it, send it out, let people know, get the word out, folks. If you have a parent, and there's 50,000 students, roughly, not quite that many yet, I don't think, is it, Angela? I mean, but we're pushing 50,000. And let me tell you, get in touch. Call your neighbors. Call your friends. Call parents. Call your sons and daughters. You've got grandkids in school. You need to know about this. Okay, you need to know about it straight up and what's going on. They are wanting to take your public dollars and put it into a private school. Now, my question is, when do we stop? Where's the line? Where do we draw the line?
I don't think that they want a line drawn. I feel like,
are we going to start an insurance company?
It's just it's a ridiculous notion to me. Period. This whole idea of I'm I think the common misconception is that we're against charter schools, and we're not against charter schools. We're against this charter school. I am all fine with private education. If you want to pay for your kids to learn to be closer to their God, have at it. But have your education, have your curriculum meet state standards at a minimum.
We're going to go to our final series of breaks. Caller, well, I see you're calling in. We'll be with you in just a minute. Give us our final series of breaks. Angela Wynn was good enough to be with us tonight. Ed Raymer with you. We'll be right back right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, and we are back from our last series of breaks. Do we have a caller on the line? We do. Jackson, put them through, please. Caller, you're on the air. Please go ahead.
Hi, Ed. This is Commissioner Hope Oliver. How are you?
Hello, Hope. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I am enjoying your show this evening, and
Thank you.
I just wanted to call in to tell Miss Angela thank you for her advocacy for public schools. I really appreciate her putting the spotlight on what the school board did, and also just basically advocating for public schools, because Rutherford County has wonderful public schools.
Yes, we do.
And I appreciate her advocacy, and I look forward to meeting her.
Thank you. Coming from you, Miss Oliver, that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I am a mom who is trying very hard to raise children that are not going to be assholes, right? I think that's what all of us want as parents, is to raise kids that are not assholes.
All right.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I want my children to be good members of the community. I want them to understand that, when you see a wrong being done, that you speak up on behalf of your fellow man, right? That's why I'm so proud of not just our parents that are out there advocating, but our community members, our teachers, those who are concerned about the future and the welfare of our children. I'm so proud of the effort that's now being made to shine a light on what's going on right now. And we really do need to hold our elected officials, our school board members, accountable for the decision that was made.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hope,
do you see this coming back to bite you as a county commissioner?
Possibly.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because honestly, here I am with being a conspiracy theorist.
Man.
Well, you got a lot of material to work with there.
I mean, of course, the goal is to to destroy public school education.
Sure.
And even these buildings that they're building and expanding and everything, I think eventually you're going to have charters taking over those buildings that county funds have paid.
Well, that's when that's when that's where the rubber meets the road then.
Exactly.
And I'm wondering how many people are going to sit idly by on their hands and keep voting for these Republicans. And, oh, well, there's nothing you can do. It's all that. No, there is something you can do. It's called voting.
That's right.
Get registered and vote. And this lady you're here on the phone line, she got out and she worked and she won.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. She sure did. And I'm telling you, and we've got some other seats going to be coming up because the people that are there, they've been running unopposed for years. They've never had anybody stand in their face.
Yeah, that is very true. I think we need to underscore how important local elections are, right? I remember the last election that we were at, I was standing in line and there was a guy, behind me, and he was kind of complaining about how long the line was.
Right, yeah.
And I turned around and I said, I'm here near in tears because I'm so happy to see so many people exercising their right to vote. And this is a midterm election, right? Never had turnouts like that before. We need to be at every election, folks. That last school board election was hugely important, and unfortunately, it wasn't given as much attention as it deserved. So these next upcoming elections, those school board members that voted for your tax dollars to go to the school, we need to make sure that we have people that are for public education.
Hope, have you seen the meeting? Have you had time to even look at it?
Oh, sure, I watched it.
Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't know if you'd had time to look at it or not.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I did watch it.
Right.
And just to kind of dovetail on what you just said, absolutely, politics is local, and what happens at the local level impacts citizens' day-to-day lives more than at the federal level, which tends to be when they want to come out when it's a presidential election year. But local elections are what impact their day-to-day lives, and people really need to understand that. And when you talk about long lines on election day, we have early voting, which people can take advantage of, even Saturday voting. So if you don't want to stand in a long line, go early vote.
Well, that's, Rutherford County, and Hope, you and I have had this conversation before right here on the air. They've done a great job with the voting ways that you can vote here in Rutherford County. It's fantastic.
Right, you can vote anywhere.
Right. And, even though I may be in Murfreesboro, if I lived in your district, I can go at lunch and go vote, and I can vote for you,
right. That's
and
right.
people need to know that, and to get their children registered, get them registered. And, I'm telling you, if we don't get these Democrats or these Republicans out of there, I'm telling you, you're going to see more of the same, and it's going to get progressively worse.
Yeah.
And this is me talking, folks. This ain't these two ladies here. This is me. And I believe it, Hope, anything else? We're running out of time.
I appreciate you so much, and you all have a good evening.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated. Hope Oliver down in Laverne, District 1, County Commissioner, won a race down there.
Yes, she did.
She sat in the very chair you sat in the first time I ever met her, and I said, you can do this. And I don't think she believed me.
Well, I'm glad
and
that
I
she
said,
did.
you can do it. I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
I am. Where do you go from here? We've got, about 8 minutes left, less than that. Where do we go from here, Angela?
Like I said before, the biggest thing is just getting the word out and letting people know so that we can make sure that we're electing people who actually care about public education and want to make sure that public dollars are going where it should be. I kept hearing this argument about how, if you don't like a curriculum, your kid doesn't have to learn it. Well, what happens when kids grow up? They're in the same community with my children.
Exactly
so
right.
Imagine the difference that my child is going to be treated by your child because they don't know what the real history is.
Well, it's like the critical race, CRT, the critical race theory. They ask people, Republicans, they asked them, what is critical race? They didn't know.
No idea, but you don't.
They don't know.
In your schools. It's not in your schools, people. It's not in your.
It's not being taught in school.
It's a legal theory that is taught in law schools. It is about how this country has policies and laws that are, drenched in white supremacy, and how it makes it makes it harder, not just for Black people, but for a lot of different groups to have it hard in this country. And that's the one thing that really disgusts me when people want to spew that rhetoric about critical race theory.
They don't know what they're talking about.
It's race. It's not critical Black people theory. And I also want to point out that let's also remember that race is a construct. It's not a real thing. We didn't make that up. That was made up by people in this country who wanted others to be made feel less. We all need to understand that history, because when we learn about these things, I think it makes us feel closer together, because we know that we're able to overcome those things, that we know better now. When you know better, you do better.
Let me give you the real kicker before you leave here tonight. This is a good one. You're going to love this. Y'all, Y''ALL, are doing great. Loving this show. My Blues Traveler concert got postponed, so I'm listening. Well, Kelly, thank you. That's how you hoodwinked your friend into doing this, huh? Okay, she's sitting at home with her feet propped up in front of the fire. Kelly, thank you. I appreciate it. And many of the rest, I thank you, Pete. Thank you, Rita. Rita York is listening down in Laverne. You got you a good councilman down there now, Rita. Support her. I know you probably have. You're going to do something with Sockham, Save Our Confederate Mountains. If you do, say hello to Jake Burkhalter for me, if you know Jake. Okay? Because he's been up here a couple times. He's a good fellow.
I love it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here? When do you have regular meetings, or how do you all?
So this is the great thing about the lovely women on the leadership team of Safe RCS. We kind of keep our nose to the ground, and when we, feel like we have an issue that needs to be addressed, that's when we kind of reach out to our group of parents on our Facebook group. So I feel like right now we're really in more of a grassroots phase, attacking issues one at a time. We would love for more people to come on board to kind of help make sure that the direction we're going in continues.
Know that this broadcast is your friend.
Thank you.
Okay. And because I knew nothing of your existence.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting more.
Yeah, and we have a world of people, bear in mind, that listen to this show that never call in. WGNS has a very loyal listening bunch, and somewhere, it happened this week. I had a young lady, she listened to me and David Settles last Sunday night and said, I loved what y'all were talking about. And it doesn't take, it's just a little push. Yes. Someone will come up to me this week, I just about guarantee you, and say, hey, I heard that gal on, and I'm not talking about these two ladies, it's 3 or 4 people that called too. I'm talking about people will come up, hey, you're right. I didn't know that was going on in this county. Mm-hmm. And folks, I have told you before, there's a lot of times you won't know about it unless you listen to us. Listen to me right here. And I'm tooting my own horn, I know it, but hey, I'm the only guy they run a disclaimer for before they put me on the air. I don't think Angela believed it until they did. I know Jeremy.
I couldn't wait to hear it, and as soon as I heard it, I had the biggest smile on my face. This is great. I'm in the right place.
Like I'm going to say something, yeah. Oh, I walk in there, everybody just, there he is, don't say anything. I don't know what they think. I really don't. It's amazing to me. We're going to make our way and get out of here. Angela, you and your husband Jeremy, it's a pleasure to meet you both. Let's stay in touch, please.
Oh, absolutely.
And let me know what's going on, and understand I can't be at every function, but I'll try and be where I can and let people know. And Bill's in here. He's got Kelly Holcomb with him tonight, and we're going to get them in here so you can listen to what they've got to say. And I'll tell you what, Angela, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Night, guys.
And Jackson, thanks for working the board. As usual, we appreciate you. And I'll tell you what, till next Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night.